They got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them in their life, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off of my dirt. There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my shit like that.
I didn't think it'd be a big deal because you make up with every that put hands on you.
Jim Jones is coming for 50 cents after the king of trolling dragged up those infamous Fed TI rumors after Jim's feud with his old diped brother Cameron. He up 50 decided to jump in and stir things up, and let's just say he went there digging up those old Fed tie rumors from Tekashi's 6,699 trial and throwing some petty jabs about Cam's disc for good measure. But Jim's not here for the games, he's firing back, taking to Instagram with shady captions, showing off in the gym like he's ready for war. And even teasing what looks like a diss track aimed straight at 50 fans are eating up every second of it, with some wondering if this will just be another rat beef or it's about to explode to something way bigger between the Fed T accusation and the Harlem shade this is shaping up to be a serious showdown. Things are getting messy, so let's unpack now. If you're out of the loop on how all this drama started, it ties back to a conversation between 50 Cent and Cameron in December 2024 on Cam's Talk with Flea podcast. The two revisited their infamous feud from the late 2000s as the beef between 50 Cent and Dipet has been chaotic from the jump. But things really heated up in 2007 when 50 brought Jim Jones and Jules Santana on stage at the Gunnett show while Dipet was already dealing with internal drama. Cameron opened up about it on his podcast, saying he felt disrespected by the move, especially since he was trying to keep the group together at the time. Meanwhile, 50Y admitted he pulled the stunt just to cause trouble, and it worked, eventually contributing to Dip Set's breakup. Recalling the moment, 50 said that he wasn't even sure if Jim would go for it, but he decided to take the shot anyway.
So when me and you were battling during our music thing, you got members of Dipset to come to your show. And I'm like, so I'm sitting there like,
that was
like it's just kind of smoke. Cause I wouldn't have thought about reaching out to Yayo or Lloyd Banks. I'm like, he's going public with this?
I'm like, yo.
What was your thought process behind saying, yo, you know what? Songs. What was how did this work?
Let me say this. Look,
how'd it go?
I was there. I'm in your horse and carriage video. I'm in the pool.
What? You know what? You told me this.
Your horse and carriage video.
You told me this before.
I was in the pool in the horse and carriage.
Wow, that's crazy.
So if you look, like when everybody's there.
Right.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when balling took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. Then you gotta watch to see how he responds. And then when you see, he like, oh, you really like that. Hey, give me this, give me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want you at this show, Jimmy. Yeah, but that was one of those things I just threw it out and see what. And then when he bit to it, because it was like he was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen.
In hindsight, Cam admitted the move was smart, devious, and a total checkmate moment. Jim Jones, however, wasn't feeling how his name got dragged into the conversation. He clapped back on Justin LeBoy's podcast, basically telling Cam and 50 to stop mentioning him.
Oh my. Them niggas ain't got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them in their life, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off my dirt. There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my shit like
He also pushed back on Cam's claim that he was trying to hold Dipset together, saying Cam wasn't running anything and couldn't control him.
He think nothing, he could pull nothing together. He couldn't do nothing with me. He couldn't tell me nothing. Like, let's not get this twisted. Like, nobody could tell me nothing. I was my own boss. I did what I did as a soldier because I was a soldier. You heard? I had the soldiers. Didn't tell me nothing. You heard? I did what I wanted to do. I seen it wasn't going right, so I started doing what Jim Jones needed to do for Jim Jones. Because that was supposed to be the Don wasn't taking care of the capo. Started feeling like the Gotti movie, you heard?
But what was the point where you realized I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do? Because
I mean,
it was definitely the last straw.
There's nothing in my memory like, yo, that was the last straw, but it was just the sequence of the way things was going, and then it came to a point where I had to worry about who Jim Jones was moving forward. Then I was worried about anybody else because nobody else was worried about me. I got to a point where I became famous too. There was a point where all the famous people know me. Then after that, it was like I'm just as famous as all the famous people. I can't do what I used to do for you. You heard? Somebody got to do that for me right now because I'm super lit. You heard? But I put my life on the line for all of you know, and everybody knew that. But wasn't doing the same thing in return.
Jim Jones had plenty to spill about how Dip It came together. He shared that he grew up with Mason Cameron, and at different points, both of them even stayed at his grandmother's house. But once Mace got his big break with Bad Boy Records, things got messy according to Jim. Mace started treating Cam poorly, which stirred up tension between them. Jim Jones said Cam loved Mace back in the day and would do anything to make sure he was straight and taken care of, including helping him chase his rap dreams. However, like in most cases with fame and fortune, money got in the way of their friendship. And Jones said Mace switched up despite their apparent issues in the past. Mace and Cameron have since put things behind them and reunited to make money together through their sports and entertainment talk show. It Is What It Is, discussing their reunion. Jim said he was not surprised when Mace and Cameron became close friends again. Jimmy stood by his decision to join 50 on stage, saying it wasn't about any beef, it was about writing the momentum of his hit song, We Fly High, ballin' for him. It was all business, and he wasn't about to let anyone block his shine. He even threw shade at Gunnett, saying their fashion game was weak, but performing in front of thousands of people in New York was an opportunity he wasn't going to pass up. He accused Cam of trying to hold him back and brought up the infamous 2007 argument between Cam and 50 on Angie Martinez's Hot 97 show. At the time, 50 was promoting his album Curtis, and Angie asked fans to call in. When Cam joined the conversation, things got heated after 50 called Koch Records a graveyard. The two argued over label stats, with Cam claiming Coke artists were outselling Guns roster. As the back and forth escalated, Angie had to cut the conversation short due to Cam swearing on air. Reflecting on during his interview with Justin LeBoy, Jim called the argument childish and said he didn't even understand why Cam started it.
Cam did with calling the station up over the cop and all that shit. I felt that was childish. That wasn't, like, you don't press no real buttons, and you're not about to come outside when it's time to really get active. So how dare you do some weak shit like that that really didn't hold no merit? Like, you start going crazy over Koch, over a white man that been f***ing us since we got signed there, and whatever backdoor deals you had with them serves you more advantageous than it served me. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, so when that went on, I was like, that was kind of weak. That was corny, because at that time, there was no real beef. It was just the most powerful groups of individuals that's running New York at the same time. So in my mind, I was like, it's more advantageous for us to try to figure out how to start to move and do tours and really go crazy and figure out, because that we were sizzling, but this it was on Mars. These wasn't doing regular. They wasn't these doing arenas every night. We doing clubs every night. We got the city and the urban communities on fire and shit like that. In my mind, I see an opportunity for us to really start. You heard? Like, yeah. We had all the power and shit like that. My mind ran different and shit like that. So when he did that, I'm like, damn, that all that up. You heard? And then it was like, now you want to start a beef with these over what?
Jim's interview sparked an explosive rant from Cam on his It Is What It Is podcast, and he did not hold back. He questioned Jim's Harlem roots, called out his leadership in Dipe It, and even said Jim used to be a fan who was begging to be around him, and Cam didn't stop there. He posted clips of Jim admitting Mahi taught him how to rap and shaded some of the claims Jim's been making lately, according to Cam. He wasn't planning to address anything until Jim accused him of duck riding. That's when Cam decided to air it all. Ow.
You are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you. I did not grow up with you. Contrary to what you believe, I did not grow up with you. You are from the Bronx. Did your grandmother live? Did your grandmother live in Harlem? Yes. Did you come see her? Yes. Did I see you time to time? Yes. I did not grow up with you. You talk about dick ride now. That's where this all. I would have left you alone. I would have left the old shit alone. But listen, dick ride. Do you remember how we met? Pause. Not met. How you got cool with us? This is how this started. I want y'all to go Google Camron 1995 freestyle.
Pretending to panic with a 44 Charlie honey, and now I make Gotti money. Just wanna be cool, but couldn't piss in my potty woman. And it's not my dick, your daughter. In order, bucket of water, river cops, like a report, sweating buckets of water. I got the jack running off. It's like looking for a spot. It's like fraud tonight. The body shit was starting.
Don't make it a habit, G, or I'ma extinguish two in your cavity.
You was a fan. You begged us. You are a fan. A fan. We didn't grow up with you. I am from 140th and Lenox. I am from NFL. Up the block was 40 Wolves. Lou Simpson's on 142nd Cross Square. D. Ferg on number 8th Avenue. I don't see you around none of this. Shout out to what's the Final Four Billy and them you started. You're not from none of that. So you can sit around and act like you've been around all this Harlem and everything. You ever see somebody from Harlem try to act like they from Harlem so bad that you got to keep saying, I'm from Harlem? From Harlem, know who's from Harlem. You don't have to keep saying you from Harlem. So that's first and foremost. All this is on your account. You were fanned out and you begged us to come to your house after you heard all these mixtapes. That's how you got in.
Cam didn't stop there. He kept going, calling Jim weak and saying he always made up with people who had physically put their hands on him. He even named drop people like C. Gouda, True Life, and Men's, saying Jim patched things up with them after things got physical, but Cam pointed out that Jim doesn't show the same kind of grace to his true friends.
I didn't think it'd be a big deal because you make up with every put hands on you. But I see the pattern now. If I agree to disagree with you and don't want to take it that route because they got some genuine love for you, you keep going on and on and on. Every that put hands on you or you get to altercation, you cool with them. I see you with C. Gutter. Junior Mafia, cool. I see you taking pictures with True Life. It's cool. Man, DC, y'all having sit-downs to work out. Gunshots was let off with that. Y'all having sit-downs to work it out. You tried to chase French Montana out the game. That ain't work out. Y'all got cool. So cool that you go to his video shoot. Pardon me, not his video shoot, his movie. You're sitting in the crowd watching the premiere, and they dissing you in the movie. You in the movie getting dissing. You gotta eat it, just sitting in the crowd. Nah, they dissing you in the movie that you went to go see, bro. You ever wonder how you met Mano? Ask him how he met Mano. Mano gonna downplay because they cool now. He tried to press Mano one day because Mano first came out. He had a little record where he was saying, dissing the rappers. I don't know, he's dissing, he said nigga's name. So Jim plus see Mano one day and was like, yo, what's up with all that saying my name? Mano said, who the f you talking to? Oh, you think I'm one of them? You out your motherfucking mind? Now they the lobby boys. Every nigga that do something to put pressure on you, you sit there and work it out, but got a little genuine heart for you and all that, cool, that's the pattern. If they don't put hands on you, then you can keep going on and on and on. And I ain't promoting none of this. I think it's cool that you cool with everybody I name. You gonna be 50.
As for Jim's claims that Cam stood by while got jumped by 8 guys in Harlem, Cam wasn't having it. He fired back with his own set of accusations, flipping the script on the situation.
Hear me talk about when you ran on me when BMF pulled up? When you ran in the hotel, they chased you to the beach. All them niggas, and lucky, I had my on me and my man Jojo, I ain't gonna say his name, Spanish, you know him, the Spanish don't care about life, who was with me is like, who all these coming? I said, oh, they come this way. No, and this no disrespect, because Blue's my, Meech my, all that. And Blue Da Vinci just told this story on his platform or whatever platform recently. He got it 89% right. It's a little off, Blue. I'll tell it on Talk with Flea, my perspective of what happened. But at the end of the day, I don't be out there pumping. They chased you to the beach. You was in the sand. You was getting wet from the water, from the ocean. I don't pump that.
Cam wrapped up his fiery rant by accusing Jim Jones of not doing enough to help his friends leave the streets behind. After airing it all out, Cam vowed to never speak on their issues again. But let's be real, 50 Cent lives for drama, and he wasn't about to. Let this one go. On January 13, 50 posted clips of Cam dragging Jim on Instagram, writing individual one, I mean Jew Jimmy, you better holla at Cam privately and chill out the individual one jab. Oh, that's straight from the Tekashi 6x99 trial drama, and 50 made sure everyone remembered. If you forgot, back in 2018, Tekashi was charged with federal and conspiracy as part of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods case. He took a plea deal and agreed to testify against his former gang members for a reduced sentence during the trial. Prosecutors brought out a wiretap call allegedly featuring Jim Jones, referred to as Individual One, where he reportedly suggested Tekashi needed to be violated after distancing himself from the gang. Even though Jim wasn't charged, the internet went wild with some calling him an informant. This rumor was actually started with a fake news story that went viral online. 50 Cent made it worse by reposting a screenshot of the story and cracking jokes, writing Hamosh, so that's why they ain't pull him in, say it ain't so Jimmy. Even though 50 quickly deleted the post, the internet took off with it in 2019. 50 stirred more drama in the Shade Room's comment section. They shared tweets from a courtroom reporter stating that 69 testified Jim was a retired rapper and a Nin Trey member. 50 couldn't resist writing. He said, Jimmy, a retired rapper, yo lol, with laughing emojis. But he didn't stop there. 50 turned up the trolling with a video that had fans cracking up. In the clip, he pretended to be terrified, begging people to keep his location a secret while hilariously snitching on himself. I'm afraid for my life. I mean, Jimmy is gang lol. I'm so afraid of Jeru, Jim Jones, and Freaky Saki that I'm hiding out in Texas. Please, whatever you do, don't tell them I'm in San Antonio. Don't tell them I'm staying at the Four Seasons. By 2020, when Tekashi was about to be released early due to COVID-19, 50 ramped it up again, calling Jim out on Instagram. Now, Individual One, you're going to have to tell everybody how you were on tape and court on the phone coaching Mail to super duper violate Shorty. But the feds never picked you up because you are doing your job, confidential informant. Jim clapped back on his own Instagram, dragging 50 for trying to tarnish his name. He posted a pic of Mel Murda and shaded 50, calling him a H and accusing him of rooting for rats. Later on the Angie Martinez show, Jim admitted the rumors made him angry at first, but said he calmed down and laughed it off, pointing out people don't read the facts, they read the gram. It's a big difference, and people use the media to do what they do. They blow everything up out of proportion. He said, as far as my feelings, of course, it took me somewhere else at the moment when I saw it. But then I calmed down, sat back, laughed at it, looked at the person who was dishing it, and thought about it. Fast forward to 2025 and 50's back at it, posting a pic of Jim looking left out with Jay-Z, Diddy, Fat Joe, and other celebrities, captioning it with some petty shade, LOL. Individual One calling the shots out here. I know you working, so please don't say gangster stuff to me.